And now for our door knocking panel, hosted by President and CEO of Family First Life, Sean Mike.
All right. First of all, thank you. Austin, hold this for a minute. You ever seen one of those things, Austin? That's what we used to get beaten the crap out of when we were younger. No timeouts. Jonathan Bauer, Dean Pavlik, Megan Adams. Y'all here, raise your hand. Thank you very much. You just signed up, go to the gave $1,500 past Matt. He's back there crying, so appreciate it. There's still another 80 some odd tickets. We need your help. So, door knock panel. Very simple. One of the things you have to understand about this business is it's not complicated. There's a myriad of ways to go ahead and be successful. One of which is when you can't get a hold of somebody, you text them, email, whatever it is, whenever you decide to, these are some of the best we got. So they're gonna give you in their couple minutes what they believe is the best tip that you can get for you, for the agents you work with, for people that are out there. We have people that don't even call anybody, it's door knocking. So why don't we start? That's a sharp outfit, so we're going to start with you, all right? Now, we have this for no other reason other than it makes me feel good, and I feel like beating people when they run over their time, Paul McLean. So outside of that, we're doing all right. So we're hoping he's not going to do it. He's 0 for 1. We're hoping he won't be 0 for 2, but if he's 0 for 2, you won't see him again. Third time is not a charm. All right, give us your door knock. How is it when you pound on the door? Go ahead. All right, fire away, bud.
Basically, what I do is when I'm knocking on that door, initially, let me tell you my biggest tip first is when you are dialing and you have those leads that they won't let you set an appointment, go ahead and get as much information as possible up front. You know, did they get that policy by the mail? Did they get it over the phone? So when you go to door knock them, you kind of have a lot of data about them already. But we'll go back to door knocking. I'm knocking on their door. I'm like, hey, John. And they look at me and they're like, yes. And I look back at the lead. I'm like, You're John Bones? And they look at me like, yes, I am John Bones. I'm like, oh my Lord, we thought you were dead. We've been trying to get a hold of you for so long. Like, I mean, look, John, and I'll get the lead, and I'm reading over it, and I'm like, say you put your address here as 123 Main Street, and your date of birth is 12/14/64. That's you, right? They're like, yeah, that is me. And I was like, yeah, I'm just a field underwriter in this area that was assigned to help you out. I guarantee you, I'm not a salesperson. It literally takes 10, 15 minutes. So I see that you got living room, kitchen in there. Can we go ahead and I'll start wiping my feet? Like, can we go ahead and we just knock this thing out? Because honestly, I don't have that much time, but you're good, right? And they're like, yeah.
Give him a hand. Nice job, Austin. Give him a hand. Presumptive, right? And it works. How much you pay a month?
About $60,000.
It might work. Go ahead, sir.
Adam Levy, how are y'all? Look at this group. So, there it is. I've just given it to you. That's the whole secret to door knocking.
Hold the microphone up a little bit higher so they can hear.
Okay. Right here? Perfect. So, the bottom line is that, has anybody ever seen the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off? You ever sat in your car, sitting in front of a lead that never picked up the phone, and you're sitting there, and the biggest thing that you can do that I found is that find out what's in between both your ears, because it's all you. You're being selfish. The bottom line is that they called, they set an appointment, they didn't set an appointment, they filled out a lead. You're doing your job by making sure you're going there. So when you knock on that door, knock on the door with confidence. That's the biggest thing that you can do, and deliver to them exactly what they wanted from the beginning, and it always works out the best when you're doing for them.
All right, so think about this real quick. When you say knock with confidence, right? If you knock on my door like you have a motivation to be there, and if you tell me you fill this out, oh my God, I thought you were dead, which by the way makes sense, and now you're in control, why would I not want y'all to help me? But if you come to my door nervous, that means I think you're lying. And I'm gonna tell you to leave. And I'm testing you, and then you're gonna leave. You're like, they wouldn't let me in. No, they wouldn't let you in. Because you didn't want to get in. If you want to get in, you'll get in. If you don't want to get in, they will abide by what you want. They'll ask you to leave. So very confident, the way you knock on the door, and understand it's all in between here. Great job. Give him a hand, give him a hand.
Giovanni from Miami, and if I could just give you guys one big tip. I mean, everybody, when you're doing the door knocks, everybody's different and a total different human being when you show up at the door. When they're on the phone, they'll hang up on you, and you'll get some nasty people. But when you show up at the door, it's amazing how they'll change, and the demeanor in them is just it's crazy. But what I do is I basically will show up. I'll park in their driveway. I say that if you park in their driveway, you're more perceived as a friend. If you park on the side street, you're probably a stranger. So I leave my door open, leave the car running, and I'll get out and I'll go up to the door and I'll say, hey, it's Giovanni, we're here for our appointment, 1:30. And I'll actually have it written down on the lead sheet, the time. And they'll probably say, you know what, I never had an appointment with you. I go, well, they sent me out here at 1:30, you filled this out, and shoes on or off. And then I'll just go right into my presentation, I'll go right in.
Well, at the end of the day, here's what blew my mind. When we had leads, why did we need them to confirm there was an appointment? Where is there written that two people need to agree on an appointment? If I agree to show up and have the time, it's an appointment. I'm there. Exactly. And you filled it out, which means you requested an appointment. Why do I need you to like have 3 different phone calls with me to confirm the appointment? And I think also you have to understand, don't outthink this thing. What they're saying, you might go, that's really simple. It is simple. Nobody's saying it's not. But at the end of the day, they're confident because they want to serve people. How many people die that fill out a form and don't let somebody in because they knock on the door and go, hey, I'm at the door. A guy told me one day, goes, I get to the house and I book appointments from like they open the door and then I book an appointment. I go, that's actually the dumbest thing I've heard in my entire life. And I've heard a lot of dumb stuff. You're already there and you book an appointment to come back there when you're already there. None of them are booking appointments to come back. They're walking in the house. And that whole stranger versus, think about what he said, it's worth millions of dollars. To your face, they're much apt to, they're not gonna be, because now they're in front of you. And stranger versus friend. We tend to buy life insurance from strangers, not our friends. So give them a hand, nice job.
Hi guys, my name is Stephanie McBride. I've been here with FFL for about 4.5 months now. And honestly, I'm sure there's probably a lot of you here in the audience that are thinking, door knocking sounds really scary. I think I'll just book appointments and go see those clients. Well, I'll tell you right now, you're missing out on a lot of activity with your business. When I first started door knocking, I was super nervous to go do it. But once I got out there and I saw those clients and I met those clients and I helped those clients, I realized how many people don't answer their phone. Think about, if you guys are anything like me, I don't answer my phone when I see a number that I don't know. So there's a lot of people out there who don't answer their phone that we can't get a hold of another way, but when we actually step out of our comfort zone and go see them, we're able to serve them at a whole nother level. I will sit with those clients and they're like, yeah, I get so many calls all the time, I just block them, but I'm really glad you came. I've been wanting to get this done, right? Now, I think as far as strategy goes and logistics with door knocking and the way I kind of schedule that out for myself is I'll have my day set up. I use Road Warrior. I'll have my day set up with all my appointments and I look at the part of the county that I'm running in and I kind of look at the different zip codes that I'm gonna be in. So something that maybe you guys can take tangibly, I go to Phone Burner, I'll type in a zip code that I have a few appointments in. So in case I get no-showed or in case I get porched or something happens, I'm gonna have like 5 to 6 other clients that didn't answer the phone that I put in my Road Warrior in those zip codes. That way I know that I can maximize my activity that day and then I'm not scrambling if I do get no-showed to figure out like, oh, where should I go door knock? I have it all set up in my Road Warrior. Now if there's more people in there than I can see that day, totally fine. I'll just go see them the next run day. But that really helps increase. And I think if you guys set a goal for yourself too, that, okay, I'm gonna really try and do like 8 to 10 drop-bys every run day. You're not always gonna hit that because maybe you actually sit more of your appointments than other days. But if you set that goal, now your activity is always gonna be 10x, especially on those days where you do have a lot of cancels or no-shows or reschedules. So that really helps. And I will say too, like when I prioritize leads, 100% of my mailers will get a door knock from me, 1,000%. If there is something that they filled out and it has a lender and a amount of their loan and they did it 3 months ago or 10 years ago, I'm door knocking that door and I'm showing them that mailer and I'm gonna go serve them and see them. With the internet leads, like I said, the way I prioritize those is by zip code, and I typically prioritize houses over apartments just because of potential gate codes and things like that. So if you guys are looking for ways to strategize that when you have like 200 leads that you want to door knock, that's usually what works best for me.
Give her a hand, nice job. All right, so you want a lesson on gender studies 101. I go, hey, when you start, can you introduce yourself, tell them who you are and how long you've been here? Nope, 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 yep, I'll do it. So it's the way it works, so thank you, Stephanie. Go ahead, bud.
How's it going, everyone? So my name's Jared Lindsay. I've been with FFL now for about 7 months. I actually survived my first 3 months off door knocking. I think my knuckles are still a little raw from it. Just the amount of money we're leaving on the table by not completely resolving our leads is ridiculous. And I found that out rather quickly. I wasn't good on the phones initially, so I was using something to my advantage of just getting in front of as many people as possible up front, and door knocking was a great way to do that. And I was having great success with it. So I can never deter from doing that now because I see how much success you can have doing that. And I strongly recommend even like the newer agents, if they're having struggles on the phone, get them out in front of people, because even if they're not selling anything, they're building that muscle and getting in front of people and learning how to talk. And that's what did major things for me. I probably did about 60,000 to 70,000 off just door knocks this year. So if that tells you anything. So, but now, now I've gotten past that learning curve, and, and I'm able to sharpen my skills in other ways as well. But the major factor to me when it comes to door knocking is just being super assumptive. Know why you're there. Don't come up acting sketchy or nervous. Like, they're gonna sense that in you. You gotta come up there like you belong there. You're a licensed insurance broker. That means something. So act like it. So for me, I come up there professionally. Right away, I'm explaining who I am, why I'm there, and I'm showing them my state license so they know exactly who they're talking to, and I'm not some guy trying to sell them a Kirby vacuum. So it's, it's just being super assumptive and knowing why you're there. I keep it very simple. I'm the local field underwriter, whatever county it is. I'm coming out there to see what I can get them qualified for in regards to the state-regulated final expense programs, the ones with no medical exams. And if they have about 10 or 15 minutes, I ask if we have a place we could sit down, and then it's a wrap from there. But yeah, just be super assumptive, and I can't stress enough the importance of just resolving those leads, because we're leaving a lot of money on the table if we're not, and just that can expedite, new agents' learning curve if they just get out there and put in that activity. So I found that out firsthand. So.
Give him a hand, good job. So here's the thing we think about. When the problem for us is we get spoiled because we have so many leads. And if you had grown up in the business and you didn't have that many leads, we resolved every leads by either we call them, then we leave them voicemail, tell them we're coming over, text them, and book our appointments. And then if not, we door knocked them. We didn't move past the lead until we actually did everything we could to make contact. But a lot of people get 40 leads and go, all right, I talked to 10, let's throw this 30 over here. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you put them into all, again, phone bar, all that stuff you're talking about, it's not complicated. These guys all share everything they do. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, because here's the thing, and I'll leave you with this. Here's the problem. We get called when y'all don't go meet with people and they die. How do they track us? Because you called them and you didn't book an appointment. You used Family First Life. It came out of your mouth at some point in time. They tracked who you were. They call us, not the person, because the person that wanted it's dead, so they can't call us. The person that needed the money wants to know how they get the money, and they can't have the money. You want to know why? Because we didn't do our job. You have no idea. My first death claim was a door knock, so I'm a door knock freak. My very first death claim, 5 months in this business, was a door knock. I knocked on the door, lady filled it out, she said she was dying of cancer, wrote a husband a policy, 250 grand. He died 2 days later in a motorcycle accident. Came out, deer ran in front of him, dropped the bike, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, hit his head, died instantly, $250,000. She died 3 months later, 2 young kids. She had no life insurance. He had no life insurance. Had I not knocked on that door, and she was nice, he was screaming at me. I was like, bro, calm down, relax. You always like so big and bad. Geez, you don't need a guard dog. Made him feel good about himself, because all guys want to feel good about themselves. Wrote him $250,000. You can never, ever judge who you're dealing with. And yes, presumptive. Yes, I'm in control. Yes, I thought you died. Oh my God. Like, what are you doing here? Oh, you filled this out. I'm here. Here's what I do, because I don't want to be a friend. I want to be a stranger, but I want to help your life insurance. And here's who I am, and here's why I do it. And I did this amount. My knuckles hurt so hard I did so many. But this isn't complicated. It's going to work. Instead of sitting around all day long pretending you're doing something, get in the car and go door knock a bunch of people. So give these guys a great hand. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.